Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 7, conservation of plants and animals. So we saw in class 7 that Paheli and Bojo had visited the forest along with Professor Ahmed and Tibu. So we have studied that. They were eager to share their experiences with their classmates. Other children in the class were also eager to share their experiences as some of them had visited Bharatpur Sanctuary. Some other had heard about Kaziranga National Park, Lokchao Wildlife Sanctuary, Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserve, and Tiger Reserves, etc. So Paheli says, what is the purpose of making national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves? So 7.1 deforestation and its causes. A great variety of plants and animals exist on earth. They are essential for the well-being and survival of mankind. So we have studied in chapter 7 that deforestation is the main problem. So it is very essential for the well-being and survival of the mankind. Today a major threat to survival of these organisms is deforestation. We know that deforestation means clearing of forest and using the land for other purposes. Tree in the forest are cut for some of the purposes mentioned below: procuring land for cultivation, building houses and factories, making furniture, and using wood as fuel. So some natural causes of deforestation are forest fire and severe droughts. Activity 7.1, add some more causes of deforestation to your list and classify them into natural and man-made. 7.2, consequences of deforestation. Paheli and Bujo recalled the consequences of deforestation. They remembered that deforestation increases the temperature and pollution level on the earth. It increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Groundwater level also gets lowered. So this is a factor. They know that deforestation disturbs the balance of nature. They were told by Professor Ahmad that if cutting of trees continues, rainfall and the fertility of soil will decrease. Moreover, there will be increasing chances of natural calamities such as flood and droughts. So Bujo says, how does deforestation reduce rainfall on the one hand and lead to flood on the other? So recall, the plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, resulting in the increased amount of in the atmosphere. This will lead in global warming as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. The increase in temperature on the earth disturbs the water cycle and may reduce the rainfall. This could cause drought. Deforestation is the major cause which leads to the change in soil property. Physical property of the soil gets affected by plantation and vegetation. Recall that in class 7th how trees prevent soil erosion. So we have seen that fewer trees result in more soil erosion. Removal of the top layer of the soil exposes the lower hard and rocky layers. The soil has less humus and is less fertile. Gradually the fertile land gets converted into desert. It is called desertification. So deforestation also leads to the decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. The movement of water from the soil surface into the ground, infiltration rate is reduced. So there are flood. The other properties of the soil like nutrient content, texture, etc. also changes because of the deforestation. We have studied in class 7 that we get many products from forests. These products will we face shortage of these products if we continue cutting trees. Yes, we'll continue. We'll get the shortage of products. Activity number 7.2, animal life is also affected by deforestation. How? List the points and discuss them in your class. So 7.3, conservation of forest and wildlife. Having become aware of the effects of deforestation, Paheli and Bujo are worried. They go to Professor Ahmad and ask him how forest and wildlife can be saved. So Professor Ahmad organizes a visit to Biosphere Reserve for Paheli, Bojo and their classmates. So biosphere is that part of the earth in which living organisms exist, in which support life. Biological diversity of diversity refers to the variety of organisms existing on the earth, their interrelationships and their relationship with the environment. So he selects a place named Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. He knows that the plants and animals found here are similar to those of upper Himalayan peaks and to those belonging to the lower Western Ghats. Professor Ahmad believe that the biodiversity found here is unique. He requests Madhavji, a forest employee, to guide the children inside the biosphere reserve. He explains that preserving areas of such biosphere importance makes them a part of our national heritage. So Madhavji explains the children that apart from our personal efforts and efforts of the society, government, Agencies also take care of the forest and animals. The government lays down rules, methods, and policies to protect and conserve them. Wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc. are protected areas for conservation of animal plants and animals present in that area. So, to protect our flora and fauna and their habitat, protected areas called wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and biosphere reserves have been earmarked. Plantation, cultivation, grazing, felling trees, hunting, and poaching are prohibited there. So, wildlife sanctuary are areas where animals are protected from any disturbance to them and their habitat. National parks are areas reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitat and natural resources. Biosphere reserve is a large area of protected land for conservation of wildlife, plant and animal resources and traditional life of the tribal living in the area. So activity 7.3, find out the number of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and biosphere reserves in your district, state and country. Record in table 7.1, show this area in an outline map of your state and in India. So you can see there are difference in my district, in my state and in my country. These are protected areas. You can write the national park, wildlife sanctuary and biosphere reserves. 7.4, biosphere reserves. Children along with Professor Ahmad and Madhavji enters the biosphere reserve area. Madhavji explains the biosphere reserves are the area meant for conservation of biodiversity. As you are aware that the biodiversity is the variety of animals, plants and microorganisms generally found in an area. The biosphere reserves help to maintain the biodiversity and culture of that area. Biosphere reserves may also contain other protected areas in it. The Pachmari Biosphere Reserve consists of only one national park named Satpura and two wildlife sanctuaries named Bori and Pachmari, as in figure 7.1 you can see. Pachmari Biosphere Reserve, you can see this. Tawa Reserve is also there. So 7.4 activity lists the factors disturbing the biodiversity of your area. Some of these factors and human activities may disturb the biodiversity. Unknowingly list these human activities. How can these be checked? Discuss in your class and write a brief report in your notebook. So 7.5, flora and fauna. As the children walk around the biosphere reserve, they appreciate the green wealth of the forest. They are very happy to see tall teak trees and animals inside the forest. Suddenly Paheli finds a rabbit and wants to catch it. She starts running after it. Professor Emma stops her. He explains that animals are comfortable and happy in their own habitat. We should not disturb them. Madhavji explains that some animals and plants are typically belong to a particular area. The plants and animals found in particular area is termed as flora and fauna respectively of that area. So you can see sal, teak, mango, jamun, silver ferns, arjun, etc. are the flora, and chinkara, blue bull, barking deer, cheetal, leopard, wild dog, wolf, etc. are examples of fauna of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. As in figure 7.2 you can see many things. The wild dog, cheetal, wolf, leopard, fern, jamun tree, etc. are shown here. So 7.5 activity, try to identify the flora and fauna of your area and list them. So 7.6, endemic species. Soon the group quietly enters the deep forest. Children are surprised to see a very big squirrel. This squirrel has a big fluffy tail. They are very curious to know about it. Madhavji tells them that this is known as the giant squirrel and is endemic to this area. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area. They are not naturally found anywhere else. A particular type of animal or plant may be endemic to a zone, a state or a country. Madhavji show us shal and wild mango as two examples of the endemic flora of the Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. Bison, Indian giant squirrel as in figure 7.3b and flying squirrel are endemic fauna of this area. So Paheli says, I have heard that some of this endemic species may vanish. Is it true? So Ahmed explains that the destruction of the habitat, increasing population and introduction of new species may affect the natural habitat of endemic species and endanger their existence. So you can see a giant squirrel here, very big. And species is a group of population which are capable of interbreeding. This means that the members of the species can reproduce fertile offspring only with the members of their own species and not with other members of other species. Members of a species have common characteristics. So you can see a wild mango tree, and activity 7.6, find out the endemic plants and animals of the region where you live. So wildlife sanctuary, soon Paheli sees a board with Pachmari Wildlife Sanctuary written on it. Professor Ahmad explained that killing, poaching, or capturing animals is generally prohibited and punishable by the law in such places. Wildlife sanctuary like reserve forests provide protection and suitable living condition to wild animals. He also tells that the people living in wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing by their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, firewood, etc. Some of the threatened wild animals like black buck, white-eyed buck, elephant, golden cat, pink-headed python, rhinoceros, etc. are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. Indian sanctuaries have unique landscapes, broad level forests, mountain forests, and bushlands in delta of Big River. It is pity that even protected forests are not safe because people living in the neighborhood encroach upon them and destroy them. Children are reminded of their visit to the zoo. They recall that zoos are also places where animals receive protection. So Bojo says, what is the difference between a zoo and a wildlife sanctuary? Activity 7.7. Visit a nearby zoo. Observe the conditions provided to the animals where they suitable for the animals. Can animals live in an artificial setting instead of their natural habitat? In your opinion, will the animals be comfortable in a zoo or in the national habitat? So 7.8, national park. On the roadside there was another board on which it was written that Satpura National Park. Children are now eager to go there. Madhavji tells them that these reserves are large and diverse enough to protect a whole set of ecosystems. They preserve flora, fauna, landscapes, and historical objects of an area. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. The finest Indian teak is found in this forest. There are more than 100 national parks in India. Rock shelters are also found inside the Satpura National Park. These are evidences of prehistoric human life in these jungles. These gives us an idea of the life of primitive people. Rock paintings are found in these shelters. A total of 55 rock shelters have been identified in Pachmari Biosphere Reserve. Figures of animals and men fighting, hunting, dancing, and playing musical instruments are depicted in these paintings. Many tribals still lives in the area. As children move ahead, they see a board with Satpura Tiger Reserve written on it. Madhavji explains that Protect Tiger was launched by the government to protect the tiger in the country. The objective of this project was to ensure the survival and maintenance of the tiger population of our country. So Bojo says, are tigers still found in this forest? I hope I can see a tiger. So tiger you can see in figure 7.4 is one of the many species which are slowly disappearing from our forests. But the Satpura Tiger Reserve is unique in the sense that a significant increase in the population of tigers have been seen here. Once upon a time, animals like lions, elephant, wild buffaloes, as you can see in 7.5, and Barasingha, as you can see in 7.6, were also found in the Satpura National Park. Animals whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction are known as the endangered animals. Bojo is reminded of the dinosaurs which became extinct a long time ago. Survival of some animals has become difficult because of the disturbances in their natural habitat. Professor Ahmed tells that in order to protect the plants and animals, strict rules are imposed in all national parks. Human activities such as grazing, poaching, hunting, capturing of animals, and collection of firewood, medicinal plants, etc. are not allowed. So Paheli says, are only big animals facing extinction? Madhavi tells Paheli that small animals are much more in danger of becoming extinct than the bigger animals. At times we kill snakes, fox, lizards, bats, and owls ruthlessly without realizing their importance in their ecosystem. By killing them, we might harm ourselves. They might be in small in size, but their role in the ecosystem cannot be ignored. They form part of food chain and food webs around about which you learned in class 7. An ecosystem is made up of all the animals and plants and microorganisms in an area along with non-living components such as climate, soil, river, deltas, etc. So Bojo says, I wonder if there are any record of all endangered species. So 7.9 Red Data Book. Professor Ahmed explains about Red Data Book to the children. He tells about the Red Data Book is the source book which kept a record of all the endangered animals and the plant. Red Data Book is maintained internationally by an organization. India also maintains a Red Data Book for plants and animals found in India. So 7.10 Migration. The excursion party then enters deeper into the forest under the guidance of Madhavji. So Paheli says, what would happen if we had no wood. Is there any alternative available to wood? I know that paper is one of the important products we get from the forest. I wonder whether there are any alternative available for paper. They sit near the Tawa reservoir to relax for some time. Paheli observes some of the birds near the river. Madhavji tells the children that these are migratory birds. These birds have flown from other parts of the world. Migratory birds fly to far away areas every year during a particular time. Because of climatic changes, they fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitat becomes very cold and inhospitable. Birds who cover long distances to reach another land are known as migratory birds, as Piley learned in class 7. Recycling of paper. Professor Ahmad draws attention of the children to another cause of deforestation. He tells them that takes 17 full-grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. To make for a ton of paper, it takes 17 full-grown trees. Therefore, we should save paper. Professor Ahmad also tells that people can be recycled tells that paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use. If each student saves at least one sheet of paper a day, we can save many trees in a year. We could save, reuse used paper and recycle it. By this, we not only save trees but also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. Moreover, the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. So, Bojo says, is there any permanent solution to the problem of deforestation? So, 7.12 reforestation. Professor Amos suggests that the answer to deforestation is reforestation. Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The planted trees should generally be of the same species which were found in that forest. We should plant at least as many trees as we cut. Reforestation can take place naturally also if the forest area is left undisturbed. It reestablishes itself in natural reforestation. There is no role of human being. We have already caused tremendous damage to our forests. If we have to retain our green wealth for future generation, plantation of more trees is the only option. Professor Ahmed told them that in India we have the Forest Conservation Act. This act is aimed at preservation and conservation of natural forests and meeting the basic needs of the people living in or near the forest. After some rest, Madhavji asked the children to start heading back because it is not advisable to stay in the jungle after sunset. On getting back, Professor Ahmed and the children thanked Madhavji for guiding them through the exciting experience. So here was a very nice experience by Paheli, Bojo and Ahmadji. So here the chapter is finished and we'll start the next chapter in the next class.